Hey, how's it going? Jason here. And in this episode, we're going to be doing a follow-up on this Literati juniper I have right here. Alright, so in a previous video, we did a lot of work to this tree. I actually removed it from a 5-gallon container and then put it into this round pot I have right here. Originally, the soil in the original 5-gallon pot wasn't doing too great, or was a little bit too muddy, and the roots weren't growing that well. So in that video, we trimmed down the roots, and we got rid of all that bad soil and put it in this round pot with some newer soil right here. So getting it out of that muddy soil and getting it into some good draining, good soil mix like this one right here has helped the roots grow dramatically. And now it's completely set in this pot. It's not moving at all. As prior, when it was in the bad soil, basically it didn't have enough roots and it was wobbly in here. But once we got it into a good soil mix, it's improved a lot. So another thing you can see is the health of the foliage right here. So basically all this foliage here is all nice and green. You can see new shoots coming out right there, right here, this one right here, all this nice green foliage. It's winter now, so it's a little bit colder here, and you've got, it's not totally deep green, but in the springtime when this starts to push out really strong, it'll be really green and really healthy. But it's actually really healthy already, it's grown a little bit wild since then, and I haven't rewired it since, so I'm going to do that really quick on this tree to see if we can get this looking a little bit better. Alright, so I've got some wire, I've got my wire cutter, and we're just going to put some. Most of these branches have actually already been put into their position. You can see that this one's already down here. Everything's kind of in its spot already, so really it's just putting on some thinner wire just to layer it out a little bit better, just to kind of set them a little bit better. Alright, so I've got this looking the way I like it. I think if I repot this again, I might actually change the angle slightly on it just to show a little bit more of the movement. Okay, so let me show you guys. Alright, so here's what the tree looks like all finished. I think I'm going to angle it a little bit more. Originally it was kind of flatter. I think I'd like it to stand a little bit taller. The style is still, let me scoot it back a little bit. So the style is still Literati, which basically means that you've got this long slender trunk and you've got branches sweeping down from both sides just like this. Originally I styled this, I thought it was a year ago, but it was actually 2 years ago. So it was 2 years ago, and if you remember back then, it definitely had a lot less branches. than it does right now. So in the last 2 years, basically what happened is that the roots established themselves inside this pot. So it's no longer loose inside here. The roots are very healthy inside here. I can tell just by shaking it a little bit that it's completely grown into this pot, which is great. And that's why this foliage is starting to come out strong. If you look over here at this side right here, right over on this side, it's got a lot of foliage that's pushing, and I expect that in the spring it's going to come out all over the place. Over here, I actually redid the apex. I use this branch for now just to bring it up to the top. I didn't get, in the last 2 years, sometimes you don't get the branches you want. I didn't get one branch coming in here, but I've got plenty to work with. And since I know that I have this branch right here, this one at the apex, I know that's there. I know it's going to grow. I'll be able to use this one to create this entire crown right here. And I expect I'll probably be able to do that this spring when this all comes out, and then I'll just sweep it down on this crown and complete it. And after that, it's really just maintenance. I think I have more than enough branches on this tree. The Literati looks nice. It's full. If anything, you'll notice that in the previous video about 2 years ago, the foliage has actually grown out wider. So I'm going to have to start pushing it back a little bit more before it starts to get out really too wide. And so I think this tree has grown into this pot really nicely. Originally the pot was overpowering the tree because it was just so young and it barely had any foliage. But now that I'm looking at it, look how wide this tree is, how much foliage is there. This pot fits a lot better, which is what I was hoping for when I put it in this pot originally. So with the Literatis, I'm always trying to keep the branches light and thin, so there's not a lot of foliage in here. Now if I let this grow wild, I just let it, it'll develop all in here and it'll get all thick and bushy. But what I want in the Literati is for it to be slender, so that's why this tree will always have these sparse looking branches, and that's just part of the style of the Literati. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that follow-up on this Literati juniper I have right here. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you.